For a while there, I were in two minds. I knew that I wanted a Blackmagic camera, and I were even start looking at, back in the past at the old Blackmagic cameras. So I looked at the production camera. I looked at the original, the 1080p one. I started to look at, in my search for that dare I say, cinematic look. I looked at the 4K because of the Micro Four Thirds mount, where you can use the speed booster to fit EF and EFS glass on it anyway. And I even considered getting a 6K, even though I know that the 6K Pro's got the tilted screen and the built-in NDs and the Sony LP batteries. So I'll tell you what I've ordered. With the camera, and I'll tell you what I'm about to order as well. And there's still a bit of kind of to and fro-ing. I've ordered the battery grip because it was so cheap. I mean, you can pay hundreds of pounds for Canon battery grips. I think for the 90D I got I think I paid about 175 for it. I paid just under 120 pounds for the 6K Pro battery grip, which is really good value. I've ordered a couple of extra batteries, genuine Blackmagic ones, which I think they come to about £35 each, which is really good for, certainly cheaper than the Sony LP batteries, and probably more reliable than a lot of the third-party ones. Even though I've got some decent ones by Powerbank, which I use to power my light, so I'm searching for them there, but the right over here. So I've got these 970s, which are pretty good. I'm really happy with them. I use these to power lights when I've not got them plugged into the mains. I use them for the Atomos Ninja Inferno and the Atomos Shogun Inferno. So I'm all for third-party batteries, but I thought, well, they're £35 each, these Blackmagic ones, so I might as well get a couple of those. So I want to keep the. I'm going to order a cage, and kind of that's one of the accessories that I'm going to buy. I've got a Samsung T5 1TB hard drive, which I've had for a few months now. I think I got it when it was the Amazon Prime Day a few months back, so I got that. I've got some of the where is it now? Yeah, I can't remember if I've got two of these SanDisk 1TB extreme portable SSDs, which are actually more expensive than the T5s. So I've got a couple of those. I think I've got one T5. I might order some more T5s. So I like the 1TB drives. And oh, by the way, before I talk about the accessories and kind of my thought processes in the reasons why I've ordered the 6K Pro and why I didn't wait till 2022 as well, I'm just going to go through my setup here at the moment. So Canon EOS R6 into the Atomos Ninja Inferno. I'm running the Tascam, which you should be able to see, DR60D Mark II, which is a great recorder. The only problem is the battery life, and I didn't charge my Anker power bank, so I'm currently running it with four AA batteries, which they only last about 5 or 10 minutes. So I don't know when this audio is going to cut off. So living life on the edge kind of thing. Really good quality XLR cable into the Rode NTG5, which I really like. This. Don't ask me why I've got the dead cat on indoors. And I've got actually, I don't think I've shown you this yet, but I've got a K-Tech boom pole. Not sure if I can get that in frame actually, which is the kind of budget one, the Aero, which is really good. So I suppose if you were using this for a long day's worth of boom pole holding, then it'd be quite heavy because it's aluminium. I mean, I can feel the weight now just in one hand. Yeah, you're probably better off with carbon fibre one. You can even thread the XLR cable through this as well. It doesn't come with the XLR cable, but you can do that yourself. So it's quite good, that. I think it cost me just over, I think it was about £90, just under £90 maybe. So yeah, Canon R6, using my favourite lens, or one of my favourite lenses, the Sigma 18-35 art lens. I've got a filter on for this one, which is quite a strong one actually. It's the Tiffin 82mm black Pro Mist, and it's the ARF one, so it's quite strong. Not quite the one, not quite the full, but obviously stronger than the quarter. So I really like this. That nice, softens my face, I suppose. So yeah, really like the Tiffin. I tend to get my filters in an 82. It's a trick that I learnt quite early on. I use step up rings. So I think the Sigma Art 18-35 is a 72. So I've stepped it up from 72 to 82. So yeah, that's the Tiffin. It's really good. And if you want to really go into the details with a setup, I've just kind of got one of these. I really like these batteries actually. The cheaper than the Canons that come with the R6, and because I think they go for about nearly £130, £125, £130, the official Canon ones. I think they were £54 each, and I got a couple of these. I might get some more. So these are, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's HAH-NEL, Harnell Extreme, and the model number, it says Canon type. Yeah, it's HLX E6NH. So these are quite good. So yeah, that's the setup on a Manfrotto 90D with a, I think it's a 502 fluid video head. So that's the setup. I'm actually running a GVM LED light into for the fill light. Not even sure if it's picking that up, but so I've got that set to the nice purple, and I've not bothered to set up a softbox. I'm actually just using one of the what do they call them now? It's a newer. I actually got it here. This is the bag for it. A newer 5-in-1 110cm reflector. But I've just put that over as a really quick diffuser because I didn't want to put up the softbox for this. So we've got black on one side, gold on the other, and then we've got a white and a silver. So you can do all sorts with this. You can use the black to stop the light reflecting onto the left hand side of my face. So I've got the light coming through just the basic just the basic reflector really. So it's passing through and diffusing it, which is you can't control the light, so it's got like a wider spill of the light like you can with a softbox with a grid on it, but it's quite kind of like a makeshift way of doing it. And I've just kind of hung it on another light stand, on a newer light stand, and I'm running my Interfit Badger Beam daylight 5600 Kelvin light through that. So not sure if you can tell the difference from some of my other videos, but it's just a way of getting some light on me, and it's diffusing that light so it doesn't have any shouldn't have any harsh shadows anyway. I can't see any on the Atomos. So yeah, I've ordered the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, and I've just decided the thought process I was going through. I were even looking at the original Ursa because I thought it looked kind of, well, it kind of looks like what your dad would have filmed Christmas on in the 80s. You know, if you when you were a kid, if you're my age, I'm 42. Then you know, it looks like one of like a big VHS kind of camera, the original Ursa, but it's got the massive kind of iPad stuck on it, like the 10 inch screen, and then it's got it's not touchscreen, that one, but it's got the 5-inch screen, touch screens on each side. It just looks like a prototype. So yeah, I bought the Blackmagic Cinema Camera. So yeah, I bought the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, and I'm so super excited. I'm gonna have to make some time tomorrow to open it. I've been looking at cages. So there's a nice kit which is available on Amazon at the moment. It's about £250, and it comes with kind of the top handle which has got wood on it, the NATO, and I've currently got a NATO top handle, small rig one, but it doesn't have the wood on it, and that's the thing. And it's quite expensive on its own. I think it's about £90, and it's got the side handle, so it's the one that doesn't take the Samsung T5 SSD. I think it's got the cold shoe on the top, so you could put a mic on top of it if you wanted. And the problem with the kit though is that the cage, and it's the cage that sells for about £75 separately, it doesn't take the battery grip, so that's a little bit frustrating. So I want the cage which has the battery grip, but that's going for about £145, and there's no next day delivery on Amazon with that. So it's from Small Rig on Small Rig store on Amazon, but it's not going to arrive for a few days, so that about 4 or 5 days. So that's really frustrating. So it wouldn't be here till Friday. So that's a bit annoying because I want it tomorrow, and I need a way of attaching an SSD to it. So that's the next thing. I don't own any CFast cards, and they're quite expensive as well. So the natural option is going to be SSDs, and I've already got SSD. So I've got a couple of the SanDisks, as I showed you earlier. I've got a Samsung T5, so that makes sense. So I'm looking at all the different mounting options, and there's quite a few from Blackmagic. So that's the next thing. So I watched a video from somebody on YouTube, and he was saying what is the true cost of owning a Blackmagic 6K Pro camera, or it might have been the 6K or maybe in the 4K. I watched that many videos on YouTube, and it was quite interesting. So the premise was, you're not just buying the camera to get the best out of it, you've got to really rig it up. But then I'm thinking, well, it's the whole reason why I haven't got, like a bigger, more all-in-one camera, like maybe the Ursa Mini 12K, which is a fantastic deal, for what it is. I think it's about £5,500 the Ursa Mini, and it's just such a really good camera and value for money for what you get out of it, and you've got more physical buttons which are handier. I know a lot of people like to go through all the menus, and I know the Blackmagic menus are really user friendly, and really everything's just in front of you, but having buttons there and kind of building up your muscle memory so you know where the buttons are, I think it's really good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have the built-in NDs. We're going to get the Pro version of Blackmagic, which I think currently goes for about £270, so you get that for free, which is really good. But I just love the ecosystem. It's like, when you get a Mac, you've got your iMac, you've got your MacBook Pro or your MacBook Air or whatever, you've got your iPad, you've got your iPhone. They all kind of work together in that same ecosystem, and it's the same with Blackmagic. It's easier to grade, it's easier to get everything graded when you've got cameras, with the same color science. So it's just a lot better. I think people complain that there's no IBIS, there's no in-body image stabilization, but you can stick it on a gimbal. You can use a lens with IS. So I've got a few lenses with IS. That brings me to another point. I need to pick up a Canon F4 24-105. I'm probably going to get a Mark 1 actually. I've been watching some of the videos, video reviews with I think there's Christopher Frost and and Kai, who used to be on Digital Rev TV, and now he's doing CVP. By the way, CVP is fantastic. That's the shop. I'll give them a shout out. Actually, they've done me a fantastic deal. They've done me a price match on the camera, and they actually said, I ordered quite a bit from CVP, so they said they would have done me a really good deal anyway. As a value customer, even if I wouldn't have done the price match. So I've got an absolutely fantastic deal on the camera as well, and that's the reason that's prompted me to buy the camera now rather than wait until 2022. I just couldn't resist the offer. They just sorted me out over the phone. Absolutely fantastic, and we just did a deal there, and then he sent me the invoice, paid for it. So smooth. By the way, if you order before 2 o'clock, I think it's before 2 or before 1 o'clock PM, obviously you get next day delivery. So I've ordered it today about midday, and it's coming out tomorrow. So I'm really thrilled about that. I'm going to get the big cage, but that's not going to be a Friday. That's frustrating, and I'm just gonna have to make do, in terms of accessories for now. But I want to be able to rig it up, but then break it down and then just use it as the pocket. Well, it's not a pocket camera, is it? Anymore, really. It's huge, but I just want to be able to use it, so it's not rigged up, and use it so it is when it is rigged up as well. A bit like I use the R6. It's nice to rig it up. It's nice to put the matte box on there. It's nice to do all that stuff, but it's also nice to just walk around maybe with the battery grip on, or even without the battery grip, and just have a couple of spare batteries on. So I think I've learnt a lot of what there is to know about this camera. So I know what I'm getting myself in for. I know there's no real, there's no continuous autofocus. It's not going to be your Canon dual pixel autofocus that I'm used to. It's just going to focus in on the middle when you press the button. I was watching a Sarah Dietschy video as well, and she had the app. So I think she had the Apple app where you can't see what's on screen through there, but she was using using an Atomos monitor. But you could, I think she could focus in and even start record on there. I think so. I'm gonna look at that option as well, because it'd be nice to just press autofocus from there. So I might not need to do the kind of if I've got the monitor on there. But then it's adding weight. It depends if you're running and gunning with it, or you're just kind of vlogging with it, or to be honest, with client work as well, they do expect like bigger cameras, so you'd usually rig up for that. So yeah, I just want to just finish off for a few minutes by talking about the kind of journey and thought process I went through before I ordered this camera as well, and why I ended up kind of ordering the 6K Pro. Because I think I want to document that in this vlog. It's quite important to me. Kind of the kind of things I've been thinking about as of because I was looking at the C200. I was looking at the original Ursa. I started to think, well, look at the discounts, or look at the is there a recent discount on the 12K? But then I started to think, well, how much computing power would you need for that? Are we even there yet? So I didn't even. I think editing in 6K, being able to crop in is brilliant. I was looking at all kinds of cameras. I was looking at I think the C200 looks like a fantastic camera. It's got the autofocus, but it's probably not as good as like maybe the R6, which I'm used to. Or the R5 or anything like that, but I think the thing that put me off that was the fact that there were no 10-bit UI. I either shot in kind of 8-bit, where you can easily, the images can easily fall apart when you're color grading it, and then there were no 10-bit, and you just had 12-bit. And I thought that were a bit of a letdown with it. And then it's CFast, so I'm not sure if it's SD or you won't be able to shoot 12-bit. I don't think. I'm not sure if you could do an ARC, between CFast and an SSD. I'm not sure if that were possible. But I didn't really look into that any further. Anyway, so that one that I had my eye on as well. But there's just something about Blackmagic that I just wanted. They've done so much innovation. They've just done so much. It's just been amazing. To see what they've done with with DaVinci Resolve, with everything. And I looked at the original Ursa. I looked at the Ursa Mini. I decided that I didn't want to go for the 4K because you won't get as much dynamic range. It's all the technology. But at one point I was thinking, it looked a bit old-fashioned actually. The really big, kind of ridiculous camera really. And then I thought, well, if I bought that, then I may look a bit silly. And it's huge, it's heavy, about 7 kilograms, so that's 16.5 pounds. And I'd need to get like a bigger tripod for it. I don't think the couple of Manfrotas I've got would take it. So you've been to the thousands on tripods. I'm using a 190 and a 502 video head, which I'm happy with. I've got a couple of those. You have to have the big V. I can't remember what it is, but a big kind of mounting plate. I can't remember, V for something. I can't remember. And power hungry as well. You've got that big 10-inch screen. You've got a couple of 5-inch screens. You've got a couple of full-size XLRs, but apparently the preamps are not very good. So it all sounded like it might be a bit of a letdown. But there's part of me which was a bit, where I'm a bit of an order, and I want to have like a piece of what I consider to be history. And this one that we're looking at with the V2 as well, and they're a bit hard to get hold of. And I'm thinking, well, what we're going through my mind is, as I were reading through all the kind of Reddits and forums on people who were like disgruntled, where Blackmagic had never delivered that 4.6K sensor. I think they'd offered them an Ursa Mini instead, and then I saw an advert saying if you get an Ursa Mini, you can have one of these original Ursas for $500, something like that. I saw that as well. But it's a bit heavy, it's a bit big. But maybe that looks better for clients rather than these little mirrorless cameras. We have to rig them up. But then I started to look into, obviously if I would have bought that, I would have felt an absolute idiot. But there were part of me, almost like the order in me, that wants to own what I consider to be a piece of history, where it's almost like Blackmagic had created this massive, possibly even dare I say over-engineered prototype, which I don't know how many people bought it, but I don't think that many people would have bought it. And the big selling point about it was that it was user upgradable, so they were meant to be bringing out and they did bring out the 4.6 K sensor, but they used it in the Ursa Mini and the Mini Pro. They never actually gave the original users that sensor. There was a V1 and a V2 sensor which were both 4K. The V2 shot 120 frame rate, so you can slow that down to your 24 frames per second or your 23.987, so you can get really smooth slow motion. But the problem was that it were either two CFast cards or two SSDs if you did the ARC with a CFast SSD, and it almost like it's like RAID 0 basically, where so the way that RAID 0 works is it's almost like both. If you imagine, I know the SSDs, but if you imagine like physical SATA serial ATA hard drives, both spinning up, because RAID 0 for performance, and then it's right into one, then the other. Have them both to get the original footage, which is really, really interesting. So you had to have two SSDs in, or two CFast cards in, and obviously SSDs was a separate ARC, a separate unit on that original Ursa. I nearly bought the V2, but it's got also got the black hole sun problem, which they never corrected. So interesting camera. It was fun to research it, but at the end of the day, it was like, yeah. And then I even looked at the production camera, which one of my favourite YouTubers, who's an Irish gentleman called Hugh Sweeney. I love his channel. I think he's got about 28,000 subscribers now. I remember last year when he hit 20,000 subscribers. Absolutely brilliant. He does impressions as well. He does a really good Arnold Schwarzenegger. I actually absolutely love watching his channel. He had the Blackmagic production camera, because he doesn't like rigging them out. He just likes to have like the small unit. But he had it for about 4 years, I think, and I'm not sure if he still owns it actually. But he said it caused him loads of kind of pain over the years in one of the videos. That's where he said. So, but it looks cool. I like things that look cool.